This is Chris here from the Fountaindale Library. Today I'm going to show you a super easy craft how to make a leaf or an acorn suncatcher. So your kit for your Take It Make It is going to have either a leaf or an acorn. Both are super simple. So if you have the leaf, you're going to have in your kit, you're going to have 2 leaf parts. You're going to have 2 little sheets of contact paper. And you're going to have some tissue paper all cut up. So, super simple. You're going to tear off the paper off of the contact paper. Now this is probably, when you think about it, probably the hardest part. You got to kind of get your nail up under there. But once you get it started, it'll peel off very easy. So, you put it down on the table, sticky side up. You don't want your contact paper to stick to the table. So, you're going to take one of your leaves, and you're just going to set it right in the middle of the contact paper. Make sure that the construction paper parts of the leaf don't go over the contact paper. You want it all on the contact paper. So just set it down, and then with your finger, just make sure it's sticking. And then you're going to take your tissue paper, and you can have as much fun if you have. You can have scissors. You can cut them in smaller pieces. You can even rip them to make littler colors all over the place. Now be careful, I just did what I was going to warn you about. I let my tissue paper fall, and the whole bit of the contact paper is sticky right now. That's why we have 2 sheets. So if it falls on the part that you don't want it to be, it's going to stick. So just be careful with that. And then what you're going to do is just stick your colors all over the leaf. Now the cool thing is, if they overlap, you're actually going to get some other colors because they're going to blend together. So if you put the yellow and the orange together, it's going to look more red. If you put the brown and put a yellow behind it, it's going to look a little lighter and a little orangey. So by overlapping them, you're going to make some really cool colors too. So I'm not going to be too fancy for the video. I'm just going to set them down on there, and you'll get an idea of how cool it's going to look. All right, let's do another pink down here. Maybe a pink. And see, pink and orange, make it look red. You don't have to worry if you don't get every little piece, but the more you get, then you won't have any blank spots when you're all done. That's why in your kit you have a lot of tissue paper. Okay, so I think that's pretty good. Maybe one more here. So once you have as much as you want on there, you're going to take a little bit of glue. You don't have to, but it just makes it a little easier. So you just take a little bit of glue, just a tiny bit, because you want your second leaf to stick to the other one. Just put a little bit maybe on the stem, a little bit down on the side. It does not have to be all over it. And if you're not careful like I did, you might pull off some of your tissue paper. So just a little bit on the sides, trying not to pull up your tissue paper. And then you're going to put your leaf. Now you're going to watch, make sure your leaf are facing the same way so that it lines up as best you can with the bottom and the stem. Doesn't have to be perfect, but the closer it is together, the neater and easier it's going to be when you cut it out once you put your contact paper on. Now, this one doesn't matter. If you get some stuck on there, I'm just going to pull it off because it'll be easier to see on the video. Okay, your second contact paper sheet. Again, if you fold it over and pull it with your finger, that's a little easier. If you just use your fingers and to tear it off. Now, once you have your contact paper, line it up the best you can so that it's covering your entire leaf. If you overlap, it's fine, but you want to make sure your whole leaf is covered. And you just set it down and then smooth it out. Super simple. And then you have your leaf. Now, you can take some scissors and cut out your leaf. You can cut it fairly close. I would leave a little bit around your leaf of the contact paper so that way it doesn't come apart. If you get too close to the leaf, what's going to happen is it's going to tear apart, and then your leaf will be in two pieces. Don't worry if you leave a little off to the side. If you want to cut that off, you can. But again, if you get too close to the paper, it's going to kind of open up. I don't think it makes that much of a difference. And there you go. There is your leaf suncatcher. Okay, so if you chose the acorn, that's also a very cool one. So you will get two littler sheets of contact paper and two acorns and your tissue paper. So in this case, because there's a smaller spot on here, you don't need as much contact paper. So same thing, you're going to peel off your contact paper, put it down on the table, sticky side up. But this time, you're only going to put the acorn, the open part of the acorn, the part that's going to have our suncatcher in it, onto the contact paper. So you want to just be careful that you just line it up at the end and that it just covers. It's okay if it comes a little up because it's clear. You're not going to see it when it's hanging. So then, just like the leaf, we're just going to put some colors of tissue paper all along the bottom here. And let's see, we don't have a yellow yet. Maybe some orange. Oh, that's a little tricky to grab. Orange and maybe a little darker pink, some more brown, and oh, teeny tiny. All right, come on. All right, so you got a lot of different colors on here. You can do whichever colors you wish. And just like the leaf, we're just going to put a little bit of glue down below here. Oops. Glue is stuck. A little bit of glue. It just helps it to stay while you're positioning the contact paper. It is not what is holding it together, so it doesn't matter if you got a lot on there. It's just helping you so it stays together while you put the contact paper on. Make sure the acorn stem is facing the same way. So you're going to line it up just like that. And actually, I guess we do need, it just occurred to me, because we're not putting contact paper up there, you're going to want to put a little more glue on your top of the acorn so he stays together. Just a little bit. Doesn't have to be perfect, but just a little so so the acorn stays together. Now, once you got that, you have your other piece of contact paper. And you are going to line that up along the bottom. Now I'm not worried about that little piece of pink that's hanging out, but if you are, you can cut that off, you can trim it up, you can make yours real fancy. I don't mind it sticking out a little bit. Then you're going to take your scissors and you're going to trim that up. Same thing here. You're going to trim down, and again, leave a little bit of the contact paper coming out from the acorn. It just will make sure it stays together. If you cut right up to the acorn, the only place the contact paper is going to make contact is with your construction paper, and that is not going to hold it together. You want a little bit of a lip, and that's holding it together and keeping your tissue paper inside. There you go. I don't know if you can see, it's not as bright in here, but when you put that up to the window, it's going to make a beautiful sun catcher. Thanks for coming, guys. See you next time. Bye.